What's up, guys? Spin Firearms here, and today we're going to talk about, do you need night sights on your everyday carry firearm? But first, before we start, I just wanted to say hit the like button, and you can even hit the dislike button. It all helps. If you guys aren't going to donate or do super thanks on YouTube or send money to the Cash App, then that's one way you can just support by hitting the like button or dislike button. I appreciate it. Like I said, helps the channel going forward. But the reason you see this in front of me is for an actual reason. I was playing with my kids in the pool today, and yes, this is a pretty similar water pistol, I guess you could call it, but actually rack the slide to fill it, and then it shoots. But the reason why it's in front of you is I noticed something, and this is the point I made in other videos in my past about sights and using sights in self-defense encounters. Now, 98% of all self-defense encounters are within 21 feet. Think about that, 7 yards or 21 feet. I try to stay within 30 feet when I'm at the range, when I'm practicing or training for self-defense and so on. But what you realize, and what I was taught, a year or two ago in a self-defense encounter is you're not going to use your sights. I know there's a lot of hype behind night sights and all this stuff, but chances are, if you're within 21 feet of each other, you are not going to be using sights. There's not going to be enough time. You might be grappling with the person. You might have to push off so you can get shots off. You might be just shooting one-handed. You might even have to use your offhand. But chances are, you're not going to be sitting there like a perfect form at the range, putting your sights on target. I guarantee it's probably like 99% of the time that does not happen. You are not the first, you are not the aggressor. Therefore, you're always on defense. Therefore, you're always playing catch-up. Therefore, you do not have time to do a lot of stuff. That's why I always say keep around in the chamber. Because if someone's right up on me, grabbing on me, tussling with me, and I need my hand to push off to make space, I have no time to rack a chamber. And they say, oh, well, I practice from draw. A lot of times, it's a struggle to get to the firearm. It's a struggle alone just to get to draw your firearm. Therefore, how are you going to rack around in your firearm and then get shots off? I want the least amount of time possible doing things because I'm always playing catch-up. I'm always on defense. I'm always behind. But when we did these drills, they had to shoot from the hip, they had to shoot from the belly button, and they had to shoot from the chest. None of those were using sights. And then also, they had us doing a full extension, but you weren't allowed to use your sights. And what that taught us is how accurate humans can be with just enough training, because of how our body reads things. You can, ever feel someone looking at you? You didn't see them looking at you, but you just feel it on the back of your neck, and then you turn and they're looking at you, and then they turn away real quick. We all have these little senses that just are human nature, and we've adapted over time and grown these weird things. One of them is body alignment. Your body naturally knows how to align with another human's body. Your body just knows a natural point of aim. So a lot of times in these self-defense encounters, I'm going to say 90+%, you will never use your sights. Now, does that mean you shouldn't have night sights on your everyday carry? No, because you should be training in the dark. Every now and then you should be outside in the pitch black training with just sights. And then also nowadays, the red dots and the green dots and optics have become so available and been used by everyone, have been pushed so hard for your everyday carry. You don't need it. But once again, you might not even use that red dot or green dot in self-defense. Does it hurt? No, it doesn't. Does it hurt to have night sights? Of course not. I think you should always have night sights on all your firearms. And if you have enough money to pay for an optic, then yeah, you go for an optic as well. But everyday carry can be pretty simple. Basically, just a stock OEM firearm, a holster, a backup mag, and night sights. If you don't have the funds to get a full blown out staccato and just the nicest of everything, that's not a big deal. Really, all you need is a good, like I always tell the story, one of my favorite carry firearms was the Ruger EC9S. It was like $250. I just got a nice little holster for it, a backup 9-round OEM mag from them, and it ran and had a laser that came already on it. I mean, that's all I needed, night sights, and I'm good to go. My setup with the holster and backup mag was under $400, and I felt completely fine, very able to defend myself, and I never worried about it. And that's what I carried a lot at work. Now it's my FN503, which is a little more expensive, but I never put that much into it. I actually just got night sights for it. But the point is, chances are you'll never need those night sights. Night sights are more of a training tool. And yes, there are times in the dark maybe where someone puts a threat on you or whatever, and you may need to, they start charging at you, and you may have time to defend yourself using your sights. But majority of the time, try it at the range. Shoot from the chest without using your sights. you will realize how accurate you are. If you train, the muscle memory and just the way your body naturally aligns with other things, you can be super accurate. As well as shooting from the hip. I thought, okay, recoil is going to be miserable. You're shooting from the hip one-handed, and you have your thumb right here pressed up against your body. I have videos about those training sessions on demonstrations and stuff on the channel, but you basically just leave your thumb like this, as well as when you're shooting from the chest, and basically that just makes sure that slide is not hitting your body in any way. But shooting from the hip, think about how far that is from your head and your eyesight. You can shoot perfectly accurate. It's unbelievable. Now, are you going to have 2-3-inch groupings? No. But are 8-inch groupings reasonable in self-defense encounters? Of course. Those are all going to be good shots that are effective. And in self-defense, what I was taught by probably one of the best teachers I've ever had, spread the love in self-defense. Now, does that mean go leg, chest, head, other leg, other arm? No, it doesn't. But you have a whole zone, the A zone basically. So it's going to be right beneath your neck and flare out like this and come over here. Those are all going to be effective. Now, anything is really going to be effective. Shooting in your chest, in your stomach, but that's the place you want to hit. So 8-inch groupings are fine for self-defense encounters. But the reason I have this in front of you is I was in the pool playing with my kids and my dad, and we were just shooting around. And I don't use sights on this. And it's the same thing. A pistol's more accurate than this thing is because this thing drops down. But what I realized is I didn't need to do anything but just aim it where I think it was going to go, and it went there. And this isn't even a powerful, fast projectile leaving it. It's just water. But what you realize is if you train and are used to shooting, you'll realize how accurate you can be without, even using your sights. And so that's why I brought this up. We had a fun time in the pool playing around. You realize you can be effective. My son was even very accurate. He's only 2 years old. He wasn't using any sights. And it's the same thing with your everyday carry. Chances are you're not going to be using your sights. You're just going to have to straight up defend yourself in the moment, not have the time to back up and get out. Because think about when your arms are extended to use your sights, think about how much space you need to have. Majority of these encounters, they're going to be right up on you, unless it's like a mass shooting or something like that where someone just busts in the building and starts ripping. Then you use sights. Then you use your red dot. But if someone's within 10, 15 feet, you're not using your sights. You're just not gonna. You don't have enough time. And, I've had situations. I've told my story on YouTube before about in Detroit, and I had no time to draw a firearm. 0 time. They were up on me way too quick, and I was wrestling and at that point fighting for my life and actually getting stomped out by 3 people. So I lived to see another day because no firearms were involved, but sometimes you just can't get to it. You just can't. And so that you want the least amount of stuff that is going to prevent you from getting shots off, and for instance, using your sights. So train not using your sights. I know it sounds crazy, but you'll realize how effective you can actually be with your firearm without using your sights. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it, guys. It means a lot to me. And once I get back on Friday, the content's going to go crazy. I have a bunch of new firearms. I got a Walther PPS M2 coming. I got a Diamondback DB9 Gen 4, a pocket pistol sent to me for real cheap. I have a new Glock 26 build, optics ready. And it's just going to show people how simple your everyday carry can be. It's basically Glock 26 Gen 3 OEM with an optic ready slide, and I'm going to get a budget red dot that was sent out from a company and just some night sights and good to go. And I'm just going to try and explain how cheap you can make everyday carry and how much money you can save in everyday carry and ways to train to save money. Also, we got an AR build. A lot of discussions coming up, so I appreciate it, guys. A lot of good stuff. Like I said, I needed this week. I needed this time with my family. I needed this relaxation off work. I needed to just, get away and do my thing and not worry about filming and all that. So I'll be posting reposts and old videos, so I hope you guys enjoy those. I appreciate the support. Hit that like button. Love you guys.